Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt just took place in the main event of UFC Fight Night Vegas 27, Font versus Garbrandt, and it went all 5 rounds. It's just finished. And wow, Rob Font just really pieced up Cody Garbrandt, in my opinion, every single round. One judge had it 48-47 Rob Font, which is just criminal. I don't see how you can give more than the first round to Cody Garbrandt, and I even gave Rob Font the first round because he landed way more clear shots, and Garbrandt got a couple of takedowns, but he wasn't really able to do anything with them. I had it 5-0 Rob Font, or 4-1 Rob Font, maybe, if you can convince me that Cody Garbrandt somehow won the first round. It was quite competitive, but after round 1, it was just, there's no chance of Garbrandt winning any of those rounds. Rob Font straight up destroyed him with boxing for 5 straight rounds. Just straight up annihilated him, took his dignity, just stuck a jab in his face and never let it get out of, like, he never let Cody Garbrandt get his timing. He never let Cody Garbrandt really wait and set something up and load for something or look for a certain shot. He just constantly stuck a jab in Garbrandt's face almost every single second of the fight, just to make sure that Garbrandt had no time to think or anything. He just had no breathing room. Rob Font stayed on him start to finish, walked him down, stuck a jab in his face, followed it up with body shots, landed counter uppercuts and stuff like that, landed good front kicks as well. At some point in the early rounds, he landed a front kick to the face on Cody Garbrandt, and that's something else that I want to talk about here. He also landed a clean shin-to-chin head kick on Cody Garbrandt, I believe in round 4, or something like that, and also some nasty combos that rocked Garbrandt. And Garbrandt took them all. So Cody No Chin, although he may have lost, he may have also lost that nickname of Cody No Chin because he genuinely took clean shots that would put other people down 100%, regardless of who they are in the bantamweight division. Like, they're going to get hurt by those shots. And Garbrandt did get rocked a couple of times and did get a little bit wobbly here and there and started to back up a little bit and create some space and start to scoot around the sort of trying to avoid Rob Font after a certain few exchanges that Rob Font landed. But Cody Garbrandt took shots well, tried to throw back, but just couldn't get past the jab. That's basically all it was. Just everything they would land on each other. Garbrandt would land some good leg kicks. Font would land a couple of good shots. But in the meantime, throughout all of that, it was just jab, jab, 20 times some rounds, 25 times in other rounds. He landed 51 strikes in round 4 and 45 in round 5. I mean, he straight up battered Garbrandt around the cage for 5 rounds. In my opinion, and Garbrandt had some takedowns. He did. He got some takedowns, some real good takedowns, reactionary ones in the first round as Rob Font would sort of close the distance. Garbrandt would dive underneath, and we haven't really seen him shoot takedowns yet in the UFC, so that was good to see. He had a different part of his game. He tried something else. But Font is just too good. He got back up when he needed to. He made sure to avoid all damage on the ground and didn't let Cody Garbrandt posture up to land anything big. And as soon as they got back up, he just stayed on the pressure on Garbrandt, landing good shots to the body. And I just feel like Garbrandt just couldn't do anything. And it was frustrating to watch because even though I picked Rob Font, Garbrandt's got way more followers. His views for my videos are way more. I'd kind of like Garbrandt to win and be in a title picture because it's just way bigger fights, and that's good for my channel, and I kind of like Garbrandt a little bit, and I wanted to see the redemption story, but it was frustrating to watch, man. He straight up got smashed around. Like, round 2 onwards, like, what did he really do? Like, maybe in a couple of takedown moments where he got Font to the ground and kept him there for a little bit, but then Font would just take no damage, get back up straight away, get back to the feet, and straight away it's back to that jab. 1-2, 1-2-3 with the jab, follow it up with a right hand. Every time Cody Garbrandt was against the cage looking to load up, you could see Garbrandt attempting his Sun Sao move. I want to say twice a round. Every single time Font would back him up into a corner of a cage, Garbrandt would just dip down against the cage and basically show homage and reference back to the way he KO'd a Sun Sao. And every single time he did that, what did Rob Font do? Did Rob Font go in and throw a body kick and trade a wild hook with Garbrandt like a Sun Sao did? No. Font, as soon as he saw Garbrandt start to load up a little bit, backed up, thought, you know what, come to me. I'll back you up again. I'll get you to this position again. I'm not going to play this game with you where we swing hooks at each other. I'm just going to jab your face off. And then when you try and reset, there's going to be another jab in your face. And I'm going to double up the jab. Then I'm going to do a double jab, right hand to a left hook to the body combo with a front kick at the end of it. Like, it was just New England Cartel on the map. Honestly, their boxing, New England Cartel might have, per gym, the best boxing gym in MMA, in all honesty. With Calvin Kattar and Rob Font, the way they throw punches might be some of the most technical shots. And Rob Font said he feels like he has the best jab in MMA. Can you doubt him? I know Usman KO'd Burns with a jab, but I don't even think he's in the mix in terms of, like, technical, clean jabs, like tripling up on jabs and landing follow-up right hands behind it. Like, I know Usman did land a couple on Burns and put him down with them. But, like, Rob Font, man, this is a different skill level at bantamweight, in my opinion. And for Rob Font to go out there and just stick it on him, Teddy Atlas, I made a community post about this. Teddy Atlas is going to cream his old pants. 100%. Teddy Atlas will not allow any bad words to be said about Rob Font. I think he's going to go absolutely crazy talking about the jab of Rob Font. I think he might have the best jab in MMA. No joke. And I did not think that before. And I thought it was a joke of the thing to say before. But after watching this, I think the only two other people in the consideration for it are Whitaker and Jan Blachowicz, and they ain't on that level of jab. Like, maybe Whitaker, because it's so impressive that he can land triple jabs on a guy like Yoel Romero, but the way Font throws it and mixes in other shots, it's hard not to give him that title. And if he keeps winning and keeps using that jab in spectacular fashion and wins his next fight, I reckon he's probably going to get that title. Best jab in the UFC if he doesn't have it already. He actually got a takedown on Cody Garbrandt as well, which ruined Cody Garbrandt's 100% takedown defense, which I thought was incredibly hilarious because Garbrandt's always been able to get back up off of takedowns. But Rob Font eventually got a couple of takedowns on Garbrandt. But Garbrandt looked good, man. He just couldn't do anything. It wasn't even something where you can say, well, Garbrandt should have done this. And if I had to give some level of critique to Garbrandt, it would be to stick with that calf kick early and start chopping a little bit more. And also to maybe jab with Rob Font a little bit more. But I just don't think he can get hit. And still, Garbrandt's just never going to be that guy. Although he might have a good chin, as we saw in this fight against Rob Font, where he took a bunch of big shots. I just don't think he's ever going to be that guy like Usman and Covington were, where they're just trading jabs and they're still going for it. Like, Usman's got the reach advantage on Covington and the power advantage in the jab as well. Covington eats the jab and just comes back with his own and keeps coming back with his own to make a point to stop that jab being so effective. I don't think Garbrandt's that level of guy to just be able to ignore it. I think Garbrandt, things have to be perfect. He can't get hit. He needs to have a clear mind to think about what he's going to do and think about what shots he's going to set up. And all of that interference by just stinging him on the nose every now and again was just annoying him to death, basically, the entire fight long. Rob Font looked amazing. The body work was amazing as well. Performance of the year, maybe. I picked Rob Font to win. I thought he would win by uppercut KO, and that uppercut, I think it was round 4. Oh my God. The uppercut Font countered with when he dipped. It was like Canelo Billy Joe Saunders style. I know that wasn't really an uppercut per se, but it kind of was. It was kind of like that, the way he dipped back and then landed it as Garbrandt was sort of dipping his head forward. But this fight was over as soon as Garbrandt started failing takedowns. In round 2 and round 3, Garbrandt started shooting some really desperate takedowns, and you could see that it was kind of like, that wasn't like a setup for a takedown. That was a please stop striking me kind of takedown. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't waiting for Font to be in a position to where a takedown could be completed. He was just waiting for Font to stop doing what he's doing, and then he just sort of panicked and shot for the legs, and then Font would just stuff the head down, land a couple of shots, look for elbows in the clinch, look for some good knees in the clinch as well. But man, Garbrandt's got power in those later rounds, but it just was not good enough. And after the first round, you could kind of see it on Garbrandt's face. He looked a little bit concerned with what he was in for, because, man, what a fucking performance. Those combinations are so nasty. I'm going to see, definitely Look At My Opinion is going to make a video about that. Jack Slack is probably going to make a video about that as well. Teddy Atlas is going to do a live watch back thing for it as well and break it down. I mean, that jab is something of fucking beauty, in all honesty. That was perfect stuff from Rob Font. I picked him to win. I said he would get the TKO, but Garbrandt's chin held up. And for both of these guys, the decisions they make are going to be very important. I know Rob Font said he wanted the title shot. Of course, he's in the top 5. top 5 people seem to get title shots nowadays. 2 of them, if you're Masvidal, and also Marvin Vettori gets a title shot for beating Kevin Holland on short notice, who also lost to Derek Brunson before that. But either way, I'm not saying there's no chance, but bantamweight is an actually good division with a logjam of good contenders and champions who fight top contenders. So as soon as we get this Aljo versus Yan rematch sorted out, we can also get the Sandhagen versus Dillashaw winner versus the winner of that one. In the meantime, a fight just got made between Jose Aldo and Pedro Munoz. The winner of that one is next for Rob Font in the main event of a fight night, 100%, regardless about who he is. Because Rob Font, he's going to move above... If Sandhagen loses to Dillashaw, he's going to move above Sandhagen. I think Sandhagen's going to beat Dillashaw. So I think Font's going to stay at number 3 here. Garbrandt's probably going to move... Shit, Garbrandt might move really far down. Because Assunção is not a good win anymore. Rafael Assunção is ranked, what, number 11? I can see Garbrandt shifting down to number 8. Or I could actually see Garbrandt shifting down to number... I don't even know what they're going to do. They're probably going to move Munoz way up, I reckon. Because he has a win over Rob Font by first round submission, but he's still ranked number 8. I think they're going to do Munoz at number 5, Aldo at 4, Garbrandt at 6, Marlon Moraes at 7, Edgar at 8, and then fall in the rest behind them. Man, what a performance by Rob Font. I think the next fight for him is the winner of Aldo versus Munoz. Main event of a fight night. If it's Munoz, it's a good rematch. If it's Aldo, let's see Aldo go 5 rounds with a guy like Font who likes to stand and trade. That's a perfect matchup for Aldo as well. And yeah, for Garbrandt, I don't know. He could wait for a loser of something. He could try and get a rematch with Dominic Cruz. He could try and go for... I don't even mind O'Malley's chances now, man. It's weird how one loss can change the way you see the entire sport. I don't mind O'Malley's chances against Garbrandt. The way he was taking shots... Although Font was doing good, it was kind of like a problem for Garbrandt, more than like a really good thing for Font. Font was doing really good, but Garbrandt just was not moving his head sometimes. Like, he is too easy to hit, straight up. Too easy to hit on the chin, especially when you put pressure on him. And if you can take his power like Rob Font can, who's never been KO'd or dropped in his career, you can do quite well against him. So that kind of tells me how a Piotr Jan would do. It kind of tells me how a Pedro Munoz would do even in a rematch against Garbrandt. Who knows? If I'm Cody Garbrandt, come Tuesday, he will be ranked number 6, maybe, in the bantamweight division. There is a man at flyweight that will not get a title shot anytime soon. There is a fight between Figueiredo and Moreno that's happening soon as well. If I'm Cody Garbrandt, I am looking for Askar Askarov. He wants to move down to flyweight. I don't think there's much to do at bantamweight unless he's going to have to win 3 wins in a row to get a title shot. If he really wants to jump the queue, I say he fights Askar Askarov. And I'm sure, even though it makes 0 sense, Askar Askarov will accept that fight because he knows he might not get a title shot next. He's in a bit of a weird position. Who knows what the winner of Figueiredo Moreno is going to do. If it's Figueiredo, maybe he wants to try and move up a division because he cuts a lot of weight. I think to make sure that the division stays intact at flyweight, we need Cody Garbrandt, Askar Askarov. If Askarov wins, it boosts his name value. If Garbrandt wins, he's right there in the mix at flyweight and back in the action. But that's what I would do next if I was Garbrandt, even if it doesn't make any sense to you guys. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Rob Font's jab is a thing of fucking beauty. Goodbye.